Hey guys, and welcome back to Dark Blue Nutrition. My name is Katie. I'm your dietitian and personal trainer. And today we are going to talk about kind of the basics of nutrition for fitness or athletic training. Whether you're a professional athlete or you're someone who is just really enthusiastic about fitness, like myself, I am a personal trainer, but I'm really just someone who is passionate about fitness. There are a few key concepts that are really important and vital to fueling your fitness and kind of building your nutrition around endurance training, strength training, and muscle growth. So today we're going to talk about, again, the basics. If you ever want me to go more in depth on some of these topics, I would love to hear your questions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into those tips. Nutrition for fitness and athletic training. So the first and most vital tip that I have for you is to make sure that you're getting adequate balance. I know balance gets thrown around all the time and we really don't know what that means, but I'm gonna give you some tangible yet flexible tips so you really don't have to feel like you have to count your macros. I'm not that kind of dietitian. I don't really believe that we have to calorie count or macro count to be healthy and to fuel our fitness. I really believe that it's all about finding your own intuitive approach while also honoring your nutrition and your basic nutrition knowledge that you have that you're going to learn right here. So for athletes, we follow a very similar approach to the My Plate recommendations. You want to have half of your plate be fruits, veggies, and produce, a fourth of your plate be lean proteins, and another fourth of your plate be carbohydrates. To my clients, I always encourage them to add fat to their meal because that adds some sustainability and staying power. Fat helps keep you full. You can add vinaigrette dressing or olive oil or butter even. Anything like that in a reasonable portion can be added to your meal to flavor it and help you stay fuller for longer. But a lot of times you will get naturally added fat from the protein part of your meal, so that 1/4 of your plate. You will most likely naturally get some fats from the protein, but not always. It kind of depends on the cut of the meat and what you're consuming. Of course, if you have like a chicken breast, it's going to be very low in fat, so you would want to add some fat just for the staying power of your meal. All in all, what I am trying to say is that you want to make sure that you have a balance of carbs, fats, and proteins. I know that you see a lot of the diet trends out there that tell you that you should be cutting certain categories of foods or being really low on carbohydrates or low on fats. But the thing with athletic training is you absolutely need both carbs and protein to A, fuel your workout, and B, fuel muscle synthesis. You cannot have muscle synthesis in the way that you want or the amounts that you want without also consuming carbohydrates. I know that protein often gets all of the credit, but you really do need carbohydrates too to fuel that muscle growth and also to fuel just the energy that you put forth to your workout, because that matters too. If you're not putting the all-out effort during your workouts, then you're not going to see the same amount of results as if you were energized, feeling good, and just ready to tackle that workout. So an example of a balanced meal would be something like a chicken breast with sweet potato and maybe some olive oil or butter to top that sweet potato, and then also some roasted Brussels sprouts or broccoli or whatever your favorite veggie is. It really doesn't matter. You can change these up. This is just one solid example of a balanced plate. You want to have all three of those major food categories in that meal. And of course, again, this can change based on your preferences. If you want some more meal ideas, I highly recommend to check out the Mindful Muscles nutrition guide that I have. I'll leave it in the description box. It's a very affordable guide that I think will help you come up with some easy meal ideas that are healthy and also fuel muscle growth. And then the next part of balance is not just your meals, which you should have about 3 times a day to kind of sustain your energy throughout the day, but you also want to have balanced snacks. Now, typically for snacks, I recommend focusing on carbs and protein because oftentimes we get plenty of fats in our breakfast or in our meals, but we don't get enough protein. Typically is the category that we are missing out the most on, especially us athletes or fitness lovers, fitness enthusiasts. we need more protein. So I like to recommend my clients focus on carbs and protein when we are thinking snacks. So typically my clients would have anywhere from 2 to 3 snacks per day between meals, again, to sustain that energy. So that might look something like a banana with peanut butter, a banana with Greek yogurt, or I got bananas on the brain apparently, trail mix with some beef jerky, trail mix with some string cheese, kind of like a combo, a 2-packed punch where you get the carbs and the proteins. And again, with some of those, you might get a little amount of fat, but it's not the main focus because typically we get fat naturally throughout the day. And I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with fat. Fat is amazing. But again, as athletes who are looking to fuel muscle growth, we do need an adequate amount of protein, not an excessive amount, but an adequate amount of protein. So I really hone in on focusing on the carbs and proteins for the snacks. So in tangible terms, that is kind of the essence of what balance looks like in athletic training. Next up is hydration. Water is a really important part of athletic training, of fitness training, and of life. You need water to live, and it's part of so many parts and so many cells in your body. Water has so much to do with everything and every function that happens in our body. So if we're low in it, we can feel fatigued, low in energy, dry mouth, dizzy even. So you really want to focus on that because you can't perform at your best if you are dehydrated. Now, this is something I personally really struggle with in my fitness journey because I moved from Illinois to Colorado, and so elevation is way higher here than in Illinois. And so I have to really focus on getting even more water than I normally would at a normal elevation and that I would if I weren't someone who is very physically active. So that's just something to be mindful of. It's really hard to just make a flat out recommendation for everyone. I know 8 cups a day is the standard recommendation. There's also a recommendation that says about half your weight in ounces. But if you're someone who is physically active, then you want to make sure that you're having probably more than that recommendation. So usually half your weight in ounces plus about 8 to 10 ounces per 20 minutes of exercise. And if you want an even better judge of this, check out your pee when you go to the bathroom, and it should be pale yellow. That is a good sign that you are adequately hydrated, and make sure to check throughout the day and make sure you are urinating regularly, and that'll be a good sign that you are pretty hydrated. And something to keep in mind is that if you're exercising for over an hour or so, or if you're in conditions that are more harsh than normal, like higher elevation, or you're doing something like that, or you're doing a strenuous activity for longer than 45 minutes to an hour, then definitely don't neglect your electrolytes. You can get electrolytes from different electrolyte drinks, and I can leave some of my favorites in the description box below for you to check out. I highly recommend something like Body Armor. Body Armor is one of my favorite electrolyte drinks, and they help keep you hydrated. And something to keep in mind too is that low-calorie electrolyte drinks are great if you're not exercising for a long period of time. Like say you want an electrolyte drink maybe for your 30-minute workout, a low-calorie electrolyte drink is perfect. But if you are someone who is working out for a long time, say you're going on a really long run or you're going on a long hike, then actually what's better is those electrolyte drinks that have calories in them, because that means the drink has glucose, which means that your body is able to get a little more glucose so it can keep the motor running. Again, I will leave some of my favorite electrolyte drinks in the comments below so you can easily access them. Most of them are at any of your regular grocery stores, convenience stores, anything like that. So you should be able to find them really easily. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Make sure that you are hydrating and make sure that you are figuring out what works for your personal body. There's no one perfect recommendation for water intake, fluid intake. It really just matters on you. And if you've seen my video on my favorite health and fitness apps, you'll see that the water app is one of my favorite free apps, and you can use that to track your water, kind of set your own water goal, and then track it throughout the day. So it's a really good app that you should definitely check out. I highly recommend it, and it's totally free. The last thing that I will recommend for the kind of nutrition 101 for fitness and athletic training is branched chain amino acids, aka BCAAs. Branched chain amino acids, you've probably heard about them if you are in the health and fitness world and you've kind of just looked into supplements to take. BCAAs are definitely found in supplement forms and they can be very expensive. They can be found in protein powders, especially whey protein powder that has a lot of BCAAs in it. So you can definitely supplement it if you have the money to afford that and if you feel like it's necessary. Typically, I recommend a protein powder just to help you supplement your protein intake and your BCAA intake, but you don't have to have protein powder to make it work and to fuel your muscles. So here are a few different foods that you can consume to have higher BCAAs to help fuel your muscle growth and muscle synthesis. First of all, if you are a meat eater, you are in luck because meat, fish, poultry, eggs, anything like that is going to be high in branched chain amino acids. So you're going to be in luck if you are a meat eater. Now, for my vegetarians out there, I know that it's not quite as easy to get in your protein. It's not impossible, but it's not quite as easy. I have a primarily plant-based diet, but I am not solely a vegetarian or a vegan or anything like that. So I have it easy. I can kind of do both. But if you are a vegetarian, then you want to get your BCAAs from beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, all that fun stuff. You will get plenty of that. And if you're a vegetarian, not a vegan, then you can have it from cheese as well. So those are all high sources of branched chain amino acids. And again, that is what helps us have the extra amino acids to build and fuel our muscles once we break down muscle tissue when we work out. If you want more specifics on how to fuel pre and post workout, I do have individual videos for how to fuel during both. So make sure to check those out and make sure to see those recommendations. I have a lot of snack recommendations in those videos that I think you will really love. And let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite exercise? What do you love to do the most that doesn't feel like a workout, that doesn't feel like work? It just feels like you're having fun. I know my favorite workouts include strength training and bar workouts. Not sure why, but I always feel my best when I'm just lifting kind of medium to heavy weights. It just helps me release those endorphins and feel good. So that is my favorite. And then bar just feels like kind of an advanced version of yoga. So for some reason, I really love bar and just those gentle moves on days in between strength training where I really don't want to add heavy weights and I want to do something fun and low impact. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite exercise? And I'd love to chat with you guys. Again, I will leave some links to videos that I think you'll love in the end card and the description box below. So definitely check those out and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.